Hi everyone, can you hear me? Please, if you are here, kindly introduce yourself in the comment section. Okay, we have Theodore here. Guys, if you are here, kindly introduce yourself in the comment section so that we know how many people we have here already. Hi everyone, if you can hear me, please introduce yourself in the comment section because I can't see anyone from here. But if you can hear me, introduce yourself in the comment section. Hi Theodore, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Pascal. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Well done.
Okay, so you go first with your topic on pivoting.
Okay,
Yeah, do you have slides?
okay, that's
Do
all
you have slides to display?
right. Actually, I did not make a slide. Um, I intend for it to be. I just intend to just share stories. And maybe a few concepts, share a few concepts. So I didn't quite prepare a slide, but I can work on one and share. Maybe after the, I can quickly
Okay,
work on one and
okay,
share. Yes.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you can have the first 40 minutes or 30 for pivoting. Mine is also short, or maybe 20 minutes should be okay. So after that, we can have the Q&A session. Let me see, is this from my network? Because I can't see anyone online. Hi guys, if you can hear me, please introduce yourself in the comment section so that we start. We are running out of time. This is 2:07. MTN network. Let me try exiting and joining again. I don't know my network.
I notice the network is not too good even down here. That's why I'm not being able to put my camera on. Maybe that will help. Network is not too good today. I don't know why.
Yeah, sorry to hear that you were saying something.
I notice the network is not really good today. Uh, I, I I I I had one meeting earlier on. It wasn't really too good, but I hope that to allow us to to
Yeah,
go on.
MTN network too has been
And it's
very, very,
MTN.
very
And
bad.
for me, it has been the best. It has been the best for me. That's why I always use MTN. But this today, I don't know.
Wow, wow. Okay. Please, if you can hear me, introduce yourself in the comment section so that we see those here. I can even see only one person. I want to be sure that we have people here. Okay, hello, Fred. Yeah, please, we are waiting for more people to introduce themselves. We want to be sure we have people in the room. So, hi, Fred. Great to have you here. So, we are waiting for others. We want to be very sure that we have people in the room, especially with the network issue. Okay, this is this is a bit surprising. I normally see the number of people in the room, but today, okay, we have the second person, Julius from Lagos. Okay, while we're waiting for more persons to join, um, I'm thinking we should have more people before we can start. But I'm not even sure whether it's the network disturbing people from joining or what. So please, if you are just joining the room, kindly introduce yourself in the comment section so that we start immediately. Okay, Fred Julius, please, if you can hear me, kindly indicate in the comment section. If you guys can hear me, kindly indicate so that we'll know. Hi, Theodore, can you hear me? Theodore, can you hear me? Wow. Julius, can you hear me very well? Because the network here is really kicking me out. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Hi, Theodore, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, guys, I think I would have to start. Okay, so I think we would have to start. Okay, so let me quickly set this up and then we'll start immediately. Okay, so good afternoon once again, everyone. Okay, we have Ochiname Anaya, Nigeria. So welcome everyone. So if you are just joining, kindly introduce yourself as usual. So today we are merging two short topics, pivoting and then strategic leadership for startups. So we have Theodore here. For those that attended yesterday, you already know him. Oh, I think the network has kicked him out. So I think the network today is really terrible, but then we'll try our best to see how we can um, probably handle or even record the session and then share with you guys later. So we will record the session and then share with you guys later. So I just hope you guys can hear me. Stephen, can you hear me? Fred, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, I don't trust this network. Oh. Please, if you can hear me, indicate. Fred, Julius, Stephen. Okay, Stephen can hear me. So I think what I will do, I will introduce Theodore and then let's wait for him to join soon. If he doesn't join, then I'll start my own session. So today, the first part, which is pivoting, will be handled by Theodore. Theodore is the CEO of NHub, one of the leading incubation hubs in Jos, Nigeria. He has over 10 years experience in championing and sustaining conversation around entrepreneurship and innovation. and the growth of tech ecosystem. He is also the director of ecosystem at the Innovation Support Network, an organization bringing together all the innovation hubs across Africa. He has inspired and supported a generation of tech entrepreneurs cutting across northern Nigeria and Nigeria at large. His domain expertise include ideation, business modeling, product management, market research, startup discovery. He's also a mentor for VC for Africa. He has mentored in a couple of programs, including the Next Economy Program, Startup Nigeria by Ventures Platform, African Entrepreneurship Award, Click on Kaduna, and a lot others. So, welcome to the studio, Theodolonji. So, Theodore, you have the floor. So, I think his network has kicked him out again. Interesting. Okay, let me start with my own session. If this continues, we might have to postpone. That's the only option we might have. So I'm going to go first. Can you guys see my slide? If you can see my slide, kindly indicate I see. If you can see my slide, kindly type I see. So I will copy the link to join in case you guys want to join the session to ask your question or make comments. Please, if you can see my slide, kindly indicate I see. Okay, okay. So I think I'm going to start now. Okay, so good afternoon once again, everyone. I'm sure a couple of you have spoken with me and we've met. Um, you you know me as the program manager for Inspire Abuja Technology Village. So I've been with you guys in this journey since the past 5 weeks. So this is more like the last session for your ideation program. The next session will be more like a revision session and preparation for your demo day. So today I'll be speaking to you guys about strategic leadership. But before then, I would like to tell you a little about my background apart from the program management at Inspire Hub. So I started my first business at the age of 18. I ran an event management um, application where I made it easy for people to book events, find services related to hosting events and all. Because I was in the event space as at then, I think I was in 200 level then. I can't really remember. I think 100 level or 200 level. I started it. Of course, it was a young startup and it didn't last long. And then the second startup I started too, I ran a two-way messaging website. Then I started another startup, I think in 300 or thereabouts, and we won a couple of recognitions. For instance, um, we won the You Win Award in 2017. Yeah, and I also won the FOPA Award for 2017, and in 2018, the Next 100 Startups of Africa by the President of Egypt, who was then the AU chairman. So that's about my startup background. I'm also a Strada Scholar 2023, And I've mentored on a couple of platforms. The TEF, which is the Tony Lumelu Foundation, Village Capital, Startup Bootcamp, VC for Africa, Hot Prize, World Blockchain, Techstar, and so on. So I've mentored startups on a lot of platforms in the past 5 to 7 years. I've also trained over 3,500 SMEs and students on digital skills and getting their business online and the likes. And I also brought 450 businesses online in partnership with a Google partner, Mind the Gap in Lagos. And I'm currently an MBA candidate. Yeah. So that's about my background with startups. So you see that the startup game is not something we started today, but then I took a little break, yeah, to get ready for some things. So let's go in for the session today, strategic leadership for startups. Now, let's move on. Definition of strategic leadership and its importance. So let's make this engaging a little bit. Can anybody tell me what they understand by strategic leadership? I can see Fred, Steven, Julius. Is that David? So I'm waiting for you guys. What do you understand by strategic leadership in the startup environment? Anyone? I sent you guys the link, so if you want to join and speak up, fine. I'm waiting for you guys a minute more. Anyone coming up? Just a simple definition. If you have an idea, just put in your idea. You mustn't get it clear. What do you understand by strategic leadership in the business context? Okay. While we are waiting for your definitions, I don't know whether the network is also delaying replies. Now, strategic leadership is a leader's ability to visualize, plan, and make the best out of the resources the organization has. In simple terms, it's just leading a group of people to create value. We are all aware that being in business is about creating value. Now, when I talk of value, I'm talking of the whole chain of creating value. Let's say you produce laptop. Now, your creation of value does not stop at production. You have to produce the laptop you are creating. You have to market it. You have to market it in such a way that the customers perceive that whatever you are selling, in this case, the laptop, is worth much than what they are paying. I'll repeat again. Businesses succeed because customers perceive that the value you are creating is worth more than what the customers are paying as a cost. I don't know if you guys get me. So it's about the perceived value versus product. Now today we see a lot of startups, they are focusing so much on their product. No one is saying you shouldn't create a good product. Of course, good business starts with product, but if you don't market it in such a way that customers perceive that the product you are creating is worth their while, then you failed, no matter how beautiful it is. Of course, we've seen situations where people with mediocre products marketed their product in such a way that even people with A-class products failed in such market. So as long as you are thinking about creating the best of products that actually fit the market, you guys have been taught about product market fit. It has to fit the market. You can't just create an AI product with all the buzzword in your head and you think customers are coming to buy AI because it's AI. No, it has to solve the customer's problem. I mentioned again perceived value. So the job of a strategic leader is to visualize where the company is, plan how the vision is going to be actualized, lead that vision and make the best use of whatever the company has, the resources the company has, whether it's human resources, material resources, financial resources, to make sure that the vision is actualized efficiently and successfully. So let's move on. Importance of strategic leadership. Now, as a leader, it's on you as the founder because a new company will take on from the value and vision of the founder. Let's say Fred is the founder of, I think Fred, I can't remember, you run a, I'm not sure if you are the one that runs a fish business. Are you the one that runs a fish business, Fred? I think Fresh Fish Ghana or something. So let's say you run a fish business and your vision is to be the number one fishing company in the world in the next 20 years. Now, that's a vision. And you don't just stop at that vision. You have to create a strategy and action plans and the KPIs to measure how you are moving towards those goals. That's your job as a leader or the founder of a company. I repeat again, you have to create the vision, bring in those that will help you actualize the vision. Who are your teams? So almost in most circumstances, it's been advised that founders and co-founders are expected to create the vision together so that you guys will have to more or less work as check and balances to the concepts or ideas you are bringing. Let's say, for example, you come from the agricultural field and your co-founder comes from a mathematical field and the other person comes from a tech field. With the with your background, it's likely that whatever idea or whatever innovation you are creating will not go one-sided. It's going to be balanced based on you guys' field. So back again, as a founder, it's your responsibility to make sure that you define a clear vision. Most companies have issues because the vision is not clear. Like there are some visions that you will see, you will even become confused yourself as a customer. We are still getting to some companies that we discuss here. So you are going to set that vision, create strategy to reach that vision. Then you bring in members of your team, persons you've hired to help you in actualizing those visions. So for example, you might create a vision for hiring and you hand over the plan to the HR and the HR leads that. You might create a vision for the customers department. You have someone managing that and all. Now, navigating the challenges of growth. The kind of strategy you create for your company will determine how the company is run and how the company handle some concepts. Let's say, for example, failure. In some companies, failure is not encouraged at all. But people like Elon Musk will tell you that if you are not failing, you are not trying new things. And we should also recognize that giving relative room for failure in a company is likely to encourage more employees to try, even if they know they will fail. They should try, even if they know the road is not very clear. And these are the kind of environment or innovative environment that promote growth and new ideas versus the conventional businesses that we all know. You have to pass through tables and all of those things for you to even suggest things to the management board and a lot of that. So it's up to you as the founder to know the kind of culture you build in your company and how that will lead to your growth. Do you want to build the kind of CEO mentality where it's even hard for people to reach you when they have ideas to suggest for the company growth? Is up to you as the founder. Then the third importance of strategic leadership. Strategic leadership helps in allocating resources in a company. So whatever vision you are creating will define how company resources will be used in line with those visions. Now, the task of strategic leadership. Now, when we talk about strategic leadership, we should visualize it as these are the tasks that embodies what the founder should be looking at in your position as the founder or CEO. The first thing is that your strategic leadership position includes leading people. So in leading people, we are looking at hiring, firing, creating opportunity for career development. For instance, you see an opportunity for career development, maybe someone in graphic design, but wants to go to the another department, let's say a department in tech, and there's an opportunity for you to help the person grow through the company resources so that the person can fill in that role. All those things are strategies the leader should create within the organization, depending on the vision you have for the company. So leading people includes the kind of people or the talent you hire, how you will maintain them, the firing, career development and ascension within the company leadership positions. Then the second is leading operations. As a leader, you are in charge of operations. Fine, as things goes on, you will have to delegate duties and all what you have to other team members you hire along the way. But then, as the leader of the company or as the founder, you are answerable, even though along the way you have to delegate duties and the like. So, but then you lead operations, you map out strategies, how the operations will go, the places you need to automate some task and all whatnot. Then looking forward, you are expected to create the future of the company, the vision of the company, where the company is expected to be maybe in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. You're expected to also evaluate, analyze situations that will help and even opportunities that will help in the company growth. That covers leading strategic thinking, plans and strategies that will guide the company in taking opportunities the company see along the way. Okay, so this is one of a strategic leadership failure that we all know. As of 1998, Nokia was the number one best-selling mobile phone brand in the world. 1999, they had 4 billion in operating profit. You should know what it's like to be the number one in the world. You have the Apples, the Apple of today, and the top companies you have, Google, the high grossing company in the world. So as at 1998, I wonder where so many of us were then. I'm sure I'm sure some of those here, maybe you were still born, you were just newly born, or maybe you were in your early years. But these are at the time when Nokia was still the number one in the world. In 2003, Nokia 1100, the best-selling mobile phone of all time. 2007, Nokia's market share was 50%, while Apple has just 5%. 2010, Nokia's iPhone killer failed to achieve its goal. Nokia's quality continues to decline. 2011, and the leadership of Nokia was still there, observing. Now in 2013, Nokia's market value declines by about 90%. 2013, Microsoft acquired Nokia for 4 billion. Now you can see that it's very clear. Who can tell us? Let me make this a little bit interactive. Who can give us an idea why you think Nokia failed? Any idea? Steven, Julius, Fred, and others in the room. Why do you think Nokia failed? We are waiting for your response. I hope you guys are hearing me. Steven, Julius, Fred, lack of adaptability. Correct. Mary, we need more responses. I need 2 more responses so that we continue. I'm waiting to Fred, Steven. Okay, so let me continue while I wait for you guys' response. So one is the lack of vision. Nokia had no clear vision. They were not agile and forward-looking. Okay, great. Keep them coming. So that covers lack of vision. So they were not clear as to where they are going, and they were not an agile organization, because you have to, for you to even suggest your ideas. In fact, one of the key failures, one of the key reasons why Nokia failed was duly part of the leadership issue. Now, they knew that there was a problem, but they were afraid to even speak out. For the top leadership, they were afraid that they might lose their investors and customers. The middle managers too, they were afraid to relate some information to the top leadership, and so on and so forth. There was no transparency. People were just scared. People were under so many fear that they were not able to speak out, even when it was glaring that Apple was taking over the market. People were still there. Now, there was no fail culture, which was why it was even hard for those that had a reason to speak to draw back from speaking. So, as founders, it's up to you to map out the level of risky culture that you keep in your organization. Now, what I mean by this is that you have to state the level of risk employees can take as you grow. Of course, there should be room for risk, and then it has to be a risk that you have assessed before you take the risk. So, founders, it's up to you to either maintain a no failure culture, or a culture where people can take reasonable risk that could promote innovation. You can see some of these big companies that you are seeing, Facebook, they are coming out with new products, every now and then, new improvements and all in their products. If there was to be a stiff environment that never promoted innovative thinking or trying new ideas, you are likely not going to see all of this. So the environment the leadership cultivates will determine the kind of employees that you have and the kind of leaders that the organization grows. Now, this is Elon Musk again. Failure is not an option. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Now, these are tips to help founders develop strategic leadership skills. First, you have to develop a deep understanding of your business and its markets. It's heartbreaking that some founders don't even know the market they are playing in. Business is a game, right? You have to be sure that one, you are getting better every day. Then two, you make sure that you are producing the perceived value more than your competitors are creating at every point in time. And there's no way you can do this if you don't understand your business and the market you are playing. I'm sure if I start asking questions now, what's the market size of your business? What's the total addressable market? The service serviceable addressable market and the likes. I'm sure that some persons here don't even know their market as deep as they should know. And we've actually shared some resources here to help you go to the market, you test your market. I think even the first lecture you had was on market research and product development and the likes. So I'm expecting that by this time, even if you never knew the statistics within your market and the deep knowledge of the market you are functioning in, I'm expecting by now you should have done your research, know who you should be partnering up with, know your competitors, know your customers and the market deep enough to know their hopes and dreams and how you can serve them better. So this number one is very important. If you don't know your market in and out, you are likely going to serve the wrong market. If you don't know those who you are serving and the pain point, you are likely serving the wrong market because you just created a product off your head and you ask, is the market that will give you feedback of what they need, and with that you iterate your product. If it's not working at all, you pivot. And that's why we also have the session on pivoting today. So no matter how we couch the whole session, product development and all, and go to the market doesn't need your product, you iterate again, it doesn't fit them, and you are still at a point after a long time, you pivot to what the market needs. You created a product and it's not working, there's no need staying at a point. Check what the market needs, check um, a need to fill at that point. You pivot to it and make it happen. So that's about knowing your business and the market you are functioning in. Then two, you must be able to think strategically and see the big picture. We mentioned this. You have to be passionate about the problem you are solving. If you are in the fintech market, you are solving the problem of how people pay, maybe with card or POS and all. Be passionate about the problem. Technology might change, but then once you are passionate about the problem, you are likely to come up with more solutions in case the technology you are using changes. Okay, let's say you were producing ATM during the time of the lockdown in Nigeria, and that was the only product you had, ATM machines that function inside banks. Now, people don't go to banks. You have to be in lockdown. how are you supposed to survive in such market? But if you've had series of products that still solve the same problem, let's say you have POS that you give to agents to help you still solve your problem. You have an app that serve the same reason and all. Even when a technology is out of use or there is a reason why people won't use that technology at a point in time, you still have other products to serve the same use. So this is very important. See the big picture. Be passionate about the problem you are solving, not just your technology solution. Then the third one is be able to make informed decision. You might be under pressure a lot. In fact, the startup, a friend of mine defined the startup life as a suicidal one. Some days you might be just off. And that's why we want you guys to be in a community, a supportive one at that. If you have any questions or you are feeling down or whatever issues you have, we know that the startup game most times would be lonely. Now that's where you share your challenges, issues you are having. I think someone shared a particular challenge about who is to take charge of delivery when customers return product and all of those things. Those are the kind of questions we expect you to share within the startup community because there are people that have navigated such hurdle and they are there to share their own experiences with you. So make sure to be able to be plugged in a community that will be supportive to you. Then the fourth one, be able to communicate your vision and strategy clearly to your team. We mentioned this earlier. The founder of the startup, whatever value or whatever vision you have, is more like the first value the team will take once the company is formed. At your beginning stage, the whole team or the whole company emulates the values and vision of the founder until the team grows big, when you start having a management team and the likes, and some things might continue changing. But at that starting point, your vision for the company, the values you create and pass down to the team are the things they will hold there. Then the fifth one, be willing to learn and adapt. You need not be told in today's world, everything changes at the speed of light. So you need to keep learning and adapting. Now, conclusion, founders value determine the first company culture and values. We've mentioned that. Think big. I was in a panel, I think sometime last year, I can't remember. Now, a foreign investor mentioned that one problem they have with Nigerian founders is that Nigerian founders don't think big. You see someone, you are creating the Airbnb for Nigeria, where someone in the US is creating the Airbnb for the whole world. We've seen a lot of this. We are creating a marketplace, a marketplace for Nigeria, a marketplace for Africa. Why are you just creating for Africa? Why others are creating for the whole world? So, of course, you're expected to think big and start from where you are, or start small from where you are while you are thinking big. While you are thinking big, of course, you have to develop the strategy and action plans to reach your goals. But then it pays to start big. That's even why investors look at your pitch deck. They want to see how big you can think. It's not just about thinking big, it has to be reasonable. You can't tell an investor you are starting business this year and in by next year you want to have made sales of $100 billion. It's not realistic. So think big and then create reasonable action plans to reach those goals. Then thirdly, encourage risk taking. Then the final one, visualize and lead the vision. So these are recommended books you could check out to help you in creating strategy for your company and or good to great, 0 to 1, mom test. I think we've shared mom test on your group, and then the lean startup. Thank you. So Longy will be coming up now to handle you guys on pivoting. Meanwhile, if you have questions from my session, you can send in your questions in the comment section, and once he finishes, we'll take all the questions once and for all. Thank you. So you have the floor, Longy.
Thank you. So, good evening once more. Pascal, thank you for that presentation. I must say that it kind of refreshing me. Real quick, we'll be looking at pivoting. So, if you hear the word pivoting, what comes first to your mind? Um, what comes to your mind? Well, pivoting is a term that describes process of changing direction when, yeah, the process of changing direction when the current strategy is not delivering the desired result. So this is one of the major this is what it means when you hear the word pivoting. I'll just share a few two stories. These are real life situations where pivoting happened in the process. So in 2019, we started a fintech or a lending platform, startup, and while that was going on, we secured a partnership with a lending company, you know, that has not automated its processes. So we agreed to go into partnership. So we are bringing technology, and they are bringing their processes, and they're also bringing their customer base because they are already been doing. They're already in the business. They are very experienced. So all we needed to do is come together, agree on terms, and then integrate the database into the new technology, and then run with it, and train the staff on how to use the technology. So these were the things that were remaining. Uh, you know. So we forged the partnership, and we began. We hit the ground running. 2 years down the line, uh, we began to experience issues, which is normal with startups. You know how that, um, yeah, well, not necessarily because the customer base, we don't have the company doesn't have the customer base, but certain peculiar problems with startups, show rose its ugly head. Now, it's a long story, but just to cut the story short, and then um, get the lesson from it. So while that was going on, the business was not making sense at some point. So we pulled back, looked at the situation, evaluated everything, what went wrong, what did we do right, what are we not doing right. So we looked at all those things, and then we realized that maybe it's time for us to pivot. So at that point, we had to change strategy, right? So we automatically changed one, um, the technology.
Can you guys hear him?
product entirely we pivoted to what we call
Oh, I think I think he's having network issues. So, wow. Okay, I think he's trying to join. He's having issues with network. So in the meantime, if you guys have questions from strategic leadership, you can send in your questions and then fill out the attendance. The attendance form is already there.
yeah. So sorry for that break. The network is really not nice today. So I said we pivoted to a SaaS, which is a software as a service for microfinance and clients. So that's where we as we speak. That's where we are. Once he's a mentor. He used to work with a big company. So after a while, he, he thought that he should retire and then start up a business. So he, he retired and quickly started the restaurant business. I think that's where his passion is. Uh,
I think his network is.
he came in with a lot of money.
Lonji, we can't hear
So
you.
he brought in a chef, to make his meals, to cook the food, the chef usually they are very good. If the chef cooks, you know that it's tasty, So that is probably the value that he wants to offer. So I have a chef who cooks very well, so I wish that our meals usually will be nice. So, but he now realize that even his friends were not even coming to the restaurant to eat. So what's the problem? So probably he thought that, well, maybe the chef cannot cook. So he fired the chef, brought in a new guy, brought in another person. and the situation will not improve. So at some point, he now fired the second guy and brought in the normal guy, right? Normal cook. Just, so, but then after the careful evaluation, so like I said, okay, like I'm going to tell you that starting yeah, so sorry again. So after
I don't know if you should move your session to another time
analyzing
because the net.
business.
Lanji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
I
hear you.
think your network
It's it's
is
it's
really an
it's terrible,
issue.
right?
Yeah, they are already
Yeah.
complaining they didn't hear you and it's breaking.
Okay.
I know whether we
Okay.
should
That's
move it
okay.
to another time.
Okay. That's all right. That's all right, man.
Yeah, maybe we should move
That's all
it to
right.
another time.
Okay. That's all
So, guys, maybe I don't know. Maybe on Friday, I'll discuss with him to know another time we can fix his session, and then maybe the same day we can do the whole revision stuff. So yeah, I think we can handle that another time. So guys, if you have questions from strategic leadership, you can bring on your questions now. If not, we will have to end this session, and then you expect the final session where we will have to prepare you for the demo day. So you have 2 minutes. If you have questions from strategic leadership, please bring it on now. We are waiting for you. If you don't have questions, we will have to close the session. I've sent the link. If you want to join the studio, fine. You can come on and ask your question on the studio. If you want to type it in the comment section, fine. Just make it quick. No questions yet. Okay, so do we have people from Ideate 4 here? Okay, so since there are no questions, we will just inform you that we would have one more final session for you guys. Hopefully, maybe we merge the the session on pivoting to the final session. So we merge it together. So on the day of the final session, we merge both pivoting and investment readiness for startups, and then demo day preparation. So we let you know if this session will be on Friday or next week, Monday. So we communicate to you the details concerning the final demo day preparation session, and then the final date for the demo day. The final date for the demo day. So all this will be communicated with you, but have in mind that the demo day is in the third week of November. So we are sure that by now you should be ready for the demo day pitching, but then we still give you one last session to help look at your pitch deck and whatever you've been working on. So guys, thank you very much. If you've not signed the attendance, do that. So we look forward to continuing this conversation on the page. So once again, good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye everyone.